Yeah.
Here we go. Is that what we need? 14.2 is what we need. But I guess, again, some of this stuff, because we did our shapes like that, some of these things we already have talked about, like area of a triangle. The formula for the area of the rectangle can be determined from the formula of the area, of the triangle can be determined from the formula of the area of the rectangle. I guess I didn't tell these people where we're at. We're on lesson 14.2, problem 1, page 806. Okay, explain. How can the area of a triangle be derived from the area of a rectangle? What's the formula for area of a rectangle? Okay, where that's the base and that's the height. How can we get a triangle out of this?
You draw a line from B to D or A to C.
Okay, so if we drew a line like this, and we could have drawn it like that creates a triangle, yes? What portion of the rectangle is, say, this side? Half of it, okay? What this line does is it divides, Andy, that rectangle into half. Do you agree?
Yes, I do.
Shade in 1/2. Okay, so if we're only looking at 1/2, can you see, Memo? Are you doing this on your paper? With pen or something? Good. Do you have your triangle shaded in? Good. All right. So explain how a formula for the area of a triangle is derived using a given rectangle. How did we create that triangle? Drew a line. Where'd the line go from? From B to D. Does anybody know what that line is called? It has a name. A line in a rectangle that goes from corner to corner is called a diagonal. Okay, because it's not straight across, it's at a slant. That's called a diagonal. Write the formula used to determine the area of a triangle. So if the rectangle was base times height, what's the formula for the triangle? Base times height divided by 2, or 1/2 base times height. Because we can see base times height easy on a rectangle, and then you can see, oh wait, within that rectangle, 1/2 is a triangle and another half is a triangle, or one way you could divide it is as a triangle. Okay, number 2, graph triangle ABC with these vertices, then determine its perimeter. Go ahead, graph the triangle. Wonder if we're going to need distance formula. Let's see, A 7.5 negative. So here's 6, here's 7, here's 7.5, and positive 2 up. B negative 5.5. Here's 5, there's 5.5, and 13 up. 12. Oh, these are by 2. So notice how the y-axis is going 2, 4, 6, while the x-axis is going 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have to remember that. Bless you. So I was at negative 5.5, and then I got to go up to 13. So 5.5 13 is going to be right in the middle of that box. Bless you again. Okay, and this is A, B, C is at 2.5. Here's 2, there's 3. So 2.5 is in between and up 2. There is C. Label your axes with their coordinates, please. Oops, not that. Negative 5.5. Nope, negative 7.5. 2. Okay, the first thing, let's sketch in our triangle. The first thing they ask us for is perimeter. How do you find perimeter? Perimeter. What is perimeter? Outside distance. So we need the lengths of sides. Well, one side is easy. This is nice and flat. We can count boxes. One, oh no, we can't because they did halves on us. But let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 whole boxes, and then a half a box this way and a half a box this way. What does each box represent on the x-axis? Are they 2s? They're 1s. So this is 10. This side here, by counting boxes, we can see that is 10, a distance of 10 from A to C. These guys are both on the diagonal. We're going to have to do distance formula. Distance formula. Big square root. Distance formula. Big square root. Okay? Front row, all of you guys, I want you to find the distance from A to B. Use these coordinates and load them into that distance formula. Back row, all of you guys over there, I want you to find C to B. Okay, you're going to need to use these coordinates, load them into the distance formula. Do we need to remember what that formula is? What do we do with the x's and y's?
You subtract them and square them.
Subtract them and square them. So x2 minus x1, y2 minus y1. All right, go ahead. I'm going to walk around the room.
What's the second one?
You guys had AB, the distance between A and B. You guys have CD. Did I say that wrong? Oh. Okay, so CB is right here. You got to use these points and plug them into the formula. Good. You have CBD. But you're from here to here. You got to use those coordinates. Plug them in. No CB. You guys are AB, aren't you? Okay. It's all right. If you have it all set up, we're going to do both eventually. You have the points. Yeah, can you read that? Okay, good. took the calculators a while back. You might need them back. Okay, don't forget, after you subtract, you have square.
Yeah. Right.
Yes.
Is it right?
Yes.
Sure.
5.5 minus 2.5. No. This is 13.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm
Looks like you did it. Really? Which one did you do? Okay, do that. Negative 5.5. Wait, which side did you do? That one is 5. Wait, what did you do? You did A, B.
What did you do?
Yeah, you did E.
You just do the grind?
Okay.
What did you guys do?
Try adding, needs add.
all the blew up on a plane.
What are we talking about? Well, thank you.
Hey, Greg.
Oh my God, you have it set up right.
You want to keep fighting?
So you went 0.5 minus the negative.
Every time like I'm here, I'm like,
Good. So it looks like I'm up here. Okay, I'm seeing good stuff in them set up. Check around. Are you getting the same? Okay, let's see. No, it's plus 0.5. Oh, let's do this one. So you want 0.5 minus 5, but it's minus a negative 5. So what happens when you minus a negative? Because that's
What is 5
that. Okay, then you went plus 13. So that's one that left. This number right
What
here.
a cube.
Negative 5. Why? What's up? Okay, that doesn't look right either. Look,
Oh,
negative. So that is 0.5.
ow.
No. It's gonna go this negative minus that. And then this y minus that y. Not within its own order of pair, but you try and find difference between them. Okay. Here we go, my friends. Let's take a look up here. If I could have your attention up on the board. AB people, that's this crew. Who's pretty sure they've got theirs set up correctly? Jerry, what do you have? How about in your,
Negative 5.5 plus, or minus negative 7.5 squared plus 13 minus 2 squared.
okay, so let's first take a look at how he got that. So he went negative 5.5 minus a negative 7.5. And then I heard him say plus, that's because there ended up being two negatives. Okay? And then he went 13 minus 2. What do you get for a final answer, Jerry?
11.18.
11.18. I'm going to call that 11.2. People along these tables, do you agree with Jerry's
Yes,
final?
I do.
Final? Okay. So, good job setting it up. Back row. Who has a pretty solid setup? Nobody confident back there?
Start reading them.
I hear murmurs. Okay. Kenya, what should we start with? If we're going from C to B, and again, with Jerry's, he went from B to A in his subtract. It doesn't matter which number is first and which number is getting subtracted as long as you do the same in both of the parentheses. So he went from 5 to 5, subtract that, so then you got to go 13, subtract that. Okay, if we're looking at B to C, the first two numbers we're looking at are right here, the two X's. Kenya, what'd you start with?
I started B and I did negative 5.5
Minus.
2.5
Okay.
plus 13 minus 2.
So again, she started here, subtracted that for X's. That means start here, subtract the 2 for Y's. If you started here and subtract that way, that's okay, as long as you start with the 2 for the Y's and subtract that way, so that the pattern's the same. But different people might have started at one point or the other point. Okay, what do we get for a final answer here?
13.6.
13.6. Those seem to be about the right size. So let's put our 13.6 on the figure and our 11.2 on the figure. Okay. I am going to do this and this. Now, the first thing they want is a perimeter. What do we have to do with those numbers to get a perimeter? Add them up. Somebody add them for us.
34.8.
34.8 is the perimeter. Now, they want us to find an area next. But question A says, what information is needed about triangle ABC to determine its area? Base and height. So in A, top of the next page, we need base and height. Okay, we got somebody named Arlo.
Hey, Arlo.
Andy, when you want to read what Arlo has to say?
All right, Arlo. Arlo says the line segment AD can be used as the height. Trisha disagrees, and both the line segment BC can be used as the height. Randy disagrees with both of them. He says that none of the line segments are currently on the triangle.
Okay, so let's take a look at that. Arlo said this is the height, AB. Trisha says this is the height, BC. And Randy says we don't have a height yet. Who's correct?
Randy.
Take 30 seconds, talk at your table. Where on this triangle is the height? 30 seconds starting now. Where's the height? Andy, can I have those scissors, please? It appears to be making a mess.
I'm making a mess. Never make a mess with scissors.
Okay. The Imogen Memo Ernesto table. You should turn toward each other and be talking. Where is the height? 5 more seconds. Do you have an answer?
I think randy is correct because there's
And stop. Okay. Teams who vote for AB, raise your hand. AB. This is what Arlo said. Nobody agreeing with Arlo. Teams who said BC, raise their hand. Nobody agreeing with Trisha. Does that mean you all agree with Randy?
Randy.
Randy, okay. So why do you agree with Randy? We agreed with Randy. Why? Explain.
Because why not?
Isabella, what do you got? Why do you say Randy?
Because there's no height on the triangle yet, which you can see. But
What would you be looking for?
you'd be looking for a line going between the triangle from the top point to the bottom area, and we don't have that line.
Bisect and equal.
Line going from top point to bottom. We don't have. Now both of those two line segments go from the top to the bottom, but what do we need different about this?
It's only a vertical line.
Vertical. Need vertical. What does vertical mean? What's a
Up and
word?
down.
And we need straight. Up and down. Okay. C. Draw a line segment representing the height of the triangle. Leg the segment BD, then determine its height. Okay, so if I start at B and go straight down, okay, I've created a vertical, and I usually indicate that with a right angle there to the base. We're going to create a new point, D, here, because this is going from B down to D. Luckily, straight up and down, we can count boxes, right? So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5 boxes. Each of these boxes on the y-axis, what were they worth? 2. So let's see, I'm going to do that again. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and one more, so that's 11. Put an 11 right there in the middle for our height. All right, so BD is 11. Determine the area of the triangle. Area equals. What did we say area equals?
Base times height.
Base times height divided by 2. What was the length of our base? 10. What was our height? 11. What's 10 times 11? You were trying to do that, huh? 55. Flip the page.
I kind of know
They like to do it with all these transformations. I wonder if Miss Morell's making her crew transform
I doubt
these.
it. I doubt
Uh,
it. I think we should go over the homework.
let's see. We may want to go to the homework packet. They're doing a lot of this transformation stuff. I think we're good. I think we're going to stop here because not only do we have a new homework packet, there's a couple videos we haven't watched yet. All right, go ahead and put the books away. Do you mind passing this out while I load up videos?
Stop